Hi, magical beings. I trust you're well, and however you spend this Yuletide or celebrate or not, I hope you've had a magical and peaceful time. And time is really what this message is about, because time itself, or time as we've known it maybe, is simply a trajectory of experience. And when we think or focus on any one of those experiences, or the expectation of an experience, or a memory of the past, for example, we're basically holding that vibration in the present moment, and therefore fixating, circulating our energy around that thought. There's literally a calling right now to become of no thought, to become of no mind, to lose our minds, and trust that the divine mind will operate regardless. So we don't have to effort and force to remember something. The remembrance is an organic, natural process that's happening. We are remembering, we're not learning anything. But a clear mind with no thought is required. It's required to be present. It's required to receive. And this is one reason why I believe so strongly in working to master our minds, because all the time we are anchored in a thought process, which is linear. Thoughts are linear. They go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And they very often are engaged in a process of thinking about something, right? And thinking in a past, present, future sense. If we think about something, there's automatically either an emotional attachment or a linearity to that. In other words, if I think about this, I'm thinking normally about what happens next or what has happened. Everything now, it feels like, is relying on us being in a space of no mind, of no thought, from which an expanse of limitless possibilities then emerges that doesn't require any thought at all. When we're stuck in our mind, we're stuck in thoughts. We're stuck in an identity. We're stuck in that trajectory of experience. We're thinking about something. We're thinking about ourselves, our identity, a happening, other people, expectations, assumptions, fears, worries, all these huge amounts of concerns and considerations which are not actually presence in this moment. And many times, oftentimes, they're things that are not actually happening in this moment. What are you reflecting on as we close out this extraordinary year, this catastrophic year, which has been beautifully painful for many people, because it really has been the crumbling when we allow it. And the thing that prevents release, the thing that prevents letting go in general, is thinking. Because really all we're ever letting go of is a thought of something. We're never we're not able to physically attach to anything. Letting go, we're only ever letting go of the thought of something. And when we are tethered to the thoughts and they're going over and over and over, we are literally holding that thing vibrationally in our field, and then it's circulating, regurgitating over and over and over. So all that crumbles or wants to crumble from our life to clear space for what is emerging, to clear space for the new, to clear space for the inevitable change and for true self, true potential. The only thing that's blocking that is our minds, is how we choose to still have the questions, the yeah buts, the fear that keeps us tethered to who we've always been, to how we've always understood things, to how we've always seen and felt ourselves to be. You know, there might be a part of us that knows that on the other side of fear is freedom, or knows that we want to step into a new life or something different, or to embrace change. But then we still find ourselves sat thinking, pondering what ifs over and over again. Who am I on the other side of this? Well, we're never going to find that out. We're constantly thinking. The surrender is not the thing that you're letting go of, it's the thought process that goes with it. If we lose our minds, is there a big fear of what is on the other side of that process? Do we think, God, you know, if I stop thinking and wondering and questioning things, what is on the other side of that? Am I just going to be a blank space? Well, yes, because it's only in the clear space that the new can come in, that the inspiration can either come in or can rise from the body. A lot of us have been experiencing ego death after ego death after ego death, stripping away. And the pain of it comes when we hold on, when we cling on to who we've always been, to how things have always been. And then there's a massive grieving process until we realise that, or maybe look at it in a sense of, what am I actually grieving here? Because it's only the good bits that's coming with us. It's only the parts that we've always truly been, the soul thread that's always been with you, that is that's the continuum, that's coming with you. So it's only what has been false or not sustainable that's actually crumbling. A sense of identity that has been false, that has been less than. What's really crumbling is the lack of truth, the lack of confidence. The state of not truly knowing who we are. So if we let that go, if we allow it, if we can drop into the void of not knowing, which is the feminine space. There's a lot of talk about feminine embodiment, but very little genuine actualization of that, because of this fear that exists of dropping into the void, of not knowing who I am anymore, of not knowing who I am on the other side of this crumbling. But it's happening anyway, so we're kind of making it a lot more painful for ourselves by the holding on. And the holding on, my love, is purely in thought. Becoming of no mind, losing our mind, is kind of necessary, and it's safe. It's okay. Examine the fears that exist around that level of letting go and dismantle them, because there really is nothing to fear. The mind has so many constructs of identity that we've built up growing up in this world, which has prescribed to us who we are, what we should do, what we should think, that tries to control us from every which way, through the systems, through monetary systems, through trauma. That's what we're letting go of. There's nothing to fear on the other side of that. And I'm feeling a lot of loneliness as well in the collective, people that have really been doing the work. There can be a huge wave of that feeling of solitary, and it is a solitary path sometimes. We have to go through that part to find a tribe, to find the others who match the level of work and devotion that you have. And part of that training of the solitary loneliness in that way, the aloneness, is training, because in that space you drop into a deeper connection with your maker, with soul spirit, with supreme goodness. And that is so necessary to find your tribe. Unless you anchor and build true divine relationship, which brings grace and authority and true compassion, unless you really do that, you're not going to find your true soul tribe, your soul family. That part has to be walked alone, that nurturing into the divine relationship. Not always completely alone, right? We do have people that we walk alongside sometimes, but it's still an individual journey, and what's right for yourself may not be right for your partner or your family or your best friend. So you're not losing people, but sometimes we oscillate away from people on that solitary path to find true self, to know true self, to know who we are as an untethered soul, as an untethered mind, unbound. So allow yourself to let go without fear. It's safe. And it really is necessary to clear the space for what Spirit truly has in store for each of us individually in 2026, which is not what we think. And it's mind-blowingly magnificent if we can surrender to the depths of who we truly are, what we are truly capable of. The space must be cleared, the mental space, it's humbling to surrender who we think we've been our whole life, to surrender our identity, sometimes everything that we've ever known, right? To surrender all of the energetics, the pain, the resentment, the worry, everything that we've held in the body, that this societal conditioning teaches us to stuff down and suppress. We've been living in a suppression model for eons. So when you finally, you're walking this path, you have enormous courage to allow that stripping away to happen. It's a very vulnerable, raw place to be. This has been the year of the snake. Skin is shedding. Allow it to leave, so we can emerge as new. And in that solitary space that you felt sometimes so lonely, you've built your muscle of discernment. You've shown your courage to spirit. You've showed up for yourself, for your deepest healing. And learnt that we really are sometimes on a need-to-know basis. We're following the breadcrumbs of spirit. We're learning to trust on a very deep level, that we don't need to know the whole roadmap, because we know that we're held and all will come together in perfect divine alignment and timing. So time as we know it has gone. So don't cling on in your mind. The mind will do its thing. The beautiful, glorious, divine mind can open and receive and work with your heart space, which has learnt that trust, which has learnt that faith, which has learnt that discernment, learnt to trust your own instincts and intuition, and really built those muscles that have been so ignored for so long. Rebuilt the trust within, so that we can hear the call, hear the essence of our soul, which speaks, guides, so that we can listen. So I'm sending you so much love as we go through this time and emerge. I mean, it's not a new year in January, but we're coming towards this newness. We're coming towards a sense of the world never being the same again, and we are not the same people that we were a year ago. Celebrate that. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your courage, your faith, your determination, and all that has been shed, so that we can rise like the phoenix and come full forward into this new expression of life as untethered souls, ready, waiting to move and shape and form life in alignment with divine will, in alignment with our highest potential and what we've truly come here to express and offer in this world as a soul having a human experience. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support and the love that you give to yourself, which you never did in the past, right? You've learned how to truly respect self and put yourself first. And then that ripples out to so many people, and you know, we're all doing this while we're looking after families and just dealing with the everyday stuff in this world, which is not always easy, right? So know that you are loved and you are seen and you are held. Until next time.